This is a public service announcement for Ferris Wheel 32. For those concerned about Ferris Wheel 32 and his current whereabouts, fear not. Ferris Wheel 32 has been abducted by aliens to the planet of College, where he is currently very busy at work and is caught up in many different matters. He will return very shortly with new videos to his channel. For the meantime, please stay in your seats, keep quiet, and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I have a game for you today which is actually a vintage game. It's been mulling over in the archives for around a year now. In fact, almost exactly a year. I checked the date when this match was taken. It was the 30th of August 2011. So 3 days ago to the year, which is pretty cool. As you can see, it clearly looks like some kind of RU type thing. I believe that's what the tiers were like at that time. And Jan Mega, obviously, I don't think is in RU anymore, but it was there at that point. And, well, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how much has changed and what the differences are, and I don't know, anything like that. So, lead off with Sharpedo. He has Claydol. Claydol's a terrible Sharpedo matchup, so I get a free substitute as he switches into Poliwrath, which is a pretty good Sharpedo counter, honestly. He can take Earthquake very nicely, and obviously Water Absorb takes Waterfall, and he is fighting, so he resists Crunch. So, but hey, it works out. Means that he can pretty much clean out my sub with whatever move he chooses to go for. If he does have a fighting move, then it's probably going to be Focus Punch, seeing as he went for Waterfall there to take my substitute out, and he really wouldn't have had an opportunity to go for a Focus Punch unless he subbed up beforehand. So it makes sense that he would be a sub puncher, and knowing that, I'm slightly afraid of him setting up a sub on this turn, but it just isn't worth staying in with Sharpedo on him because I'm really doing minimal damage with Earthquake, and he really has the advantage in this situation mentally and physically because Poliwrath just outbulks Sharpedo in general. So he gets a sub up on the switch, which is unfortunate because the only way that Drifloon is going to be able to take the sub out is to waste its Flying Gem. So I lose the Flying Gem early, which is, I guess, a little bit of a blessing and a curse. It's good because it means I get unburdened straight away, but obviously I would have much preferred to get that Flying Gem onto a Pokemon and just used a fully powered up Acrobatics as opposed to just a normal one. So yeah, there you go. It's annoying, but it happens. So I take out the sub. He's obviously scared out. Waterfall didn't do a huge amount to me. It did just over, or just under half, I should say, which means that it's not a 2-hit KO, so there's no point in him staying in anyway. And goes to Entei, which takes the Acrobatics really well and is probably really bulky. As I can see, it has Calm Mind, and I don't really think that this is your standard, you know, Entei with just firepower in the face, because it has lefties, it has Calm Mind, and it has all this stuff going on here, Lava Plume, so it's probably going to be a more defensive thingy with stuff and Calm Mind, and that's the thing. So yay for words and me being unable to use them. So goes for the Lava Plume there. I'm just doing as much damage as I can with Acrobatics. Managed to get the Paralysis with the Body Slam, which kind of stalls a little bit, allows me to get off extra hits that I wouldn't been able to, but in the end doesn't cause a huge difference, simply because, well, I'm going to die to burn, and he has Rest. He has Rest. Fuck is what I thought when I saw that. I was like, oh god, really? It's just a Rest Talking, Calm Mind, mono attacking Entei. That's interesting. Definitely not the best thing. But I decided to go into Sharpedo and just try and go for the obvious Waterfall, thinking that maybe I can just get off a hit on him and maybe take him down if he's stupid enough to stay in. But obviously, not stupid this guy is, because he goes into Grottle, which is giant pain in the ass, really, this match. I have things that can deal with it, the Entei of my own, which is a Scarf Entei, and it should be able to take him out with Eruption / Fire Blast / whatever. I just need to make sure that that happens sooner rather than later, because this thing will cause me a lot of trouble if I leave it alive and kicking, which it currently is doing because I switch in Sophos. Yay, Sophos! I see you fans of Sophos in the corner waving your fan club hats. Yeah. Go you. But I take a poison, which I really didn't want to take at all. Sarvaz is a guy who kind of relies on being able to roost up and not have residual damage all the time, and now that I'm poisoned, it's just going to limit me as much as possible. He does go into this Entei to take the Nightshade pretty well, and as I can see, he does like no damage, so he's rocking a max HP Entei for sure, and he's not something that I want to be staying in here with. So instead of staying in here with him, I whirlwind him out and tell him to get another dancing partner, because I don't want to dance with that guy. Fucking Sophos is doing his own thing here. In comes Claydol, which... another kind of frustrating thing, because I could have eliminated this thing pretty easily by being smart, but Hypnosis misses. So, well done, Sophos. Why are you missing today? You're getting toxic, you're missing, you're not picking up the slack. God, you usually do better than this, man. Usually do. But as you can see, still has the special offensive bulk of a monster. That Ice Beam does nothing to me. No damage, basically. And I roost all the way up to a decent amount of health. Now, the problem here is I'm taking a lot of toxic damage, and Stealth Rock are also on the field. So if I switch back in at this point, I'm going to be at a really low amount of health. But I'm going to have to go with it, honestly, and hope to get a free roost up somewhere later down the line, because right now, shit isn't working out for me, and I'm just going to have to go to Hitmonchan and take whatever hit he goes for. Decides for the Earth Power, which makes sense because the switch was relatively obvious at that point, and, you know, it works out nicely. It actually wouldn't have worked if he'd gone for Earth Power on me, because he outsped me, even if I'd roosted there, so well, he wasn't really predicting the roost because he knew he was faster, he just predicted me to switch, which works, because I go into Hitmonchan and take it. Now, this kind of series of plays here is just me being predictable, and it's not good, because I should have been more alert and aware as to what he was doing, because he's basically just life orb stalling me at this point, switching between Entei and Grottle, and taking hits that he can and avoiding ones that he can't, which is slightly frustrating because Hitmonchan usually does a lot better than this, but when he's faced with such bulky adversaries, it's a more tricky situation. So I bring Pupitar, who was still a stupid Pupitar at this point because he has Screech still, and I don't know why I gave this thing Screech, honestly. I've said it multiple times in the past, but, well, I was just being an idiot, and Screech is a terrible move to use, and you shouldn't really use it. Very situational, and it doesn't work on a competitive sets, really, so I die to a couple of Seed Bombs, get Stealth Rocks up in the process, but hey, that's all that Pupitar does this match, so shame that is. Go into Typhlosion, and really, like, the fire move is obvious, but he doesn't have a huge amount that can switch in at this point. The Entei's asleep, it's going to take Stealth Rock on switching, and he's not necessarily going to be able to hit me for a lot of damage because he has Lava Plume, and he has to get Lava Plume from Sleep Talk before he actually hits me, so that's a thing. Go for the Eruption, which I guess it made a little bit of sense because I am close to full HP, and I'm not really sure how much of a power differential there is between Eruption and Fire Blast at this point, just at the amount of HP that I have, but I thought the Eruption would be more powerful, so that's what I went for, and it turns out to be a 3-hit KO after the Stealth Rock damage on the Entei, so it's okay, I guess. I take his Lava Plume nicely, and now I can finish him off with a final Eruption to the face, so what happens, and now I'm kind of locked in here with Eruption. I'm thinking, well, he could go to, I think his Poliwrath is still alive, so it makes sense that he would switch that in, because obviously resistance is obvious, and I can't really switch moves, because I am clearly a fire type, so no, I can't switch moves because I'm a fire type. No, I can't switch moves because I'm choice scarfed, man. Wow, okay, apparently fire types can't switch moves ever, so well done me. I go to Sharpedo, and this is really just sacrificial. I should have kept Sharpedo alive because, well, it's just so useful, and it really should have been my endgame sweeper, but I instead decide to waste it on Poliwrath and just get rid of the sub, which, bad decision. Very bad decision, thinking about it right now. I should have probably gone to Hitmonchan, because Hitmonchan would have been able to break the sub, and then consequently, you know, maybe live a hit, because it is relatively defensive. I don't know. But losing Sharpedo is a bad idea. That's all I take out of the situation. At this point, I'm kind of backed into a corner, because if I go for the fire move and he stays in, I'm probably not going to kill him, and I lose Entei, which is like the one good thing I have going in this match. So I just go for the obvious play once again. I go for the HP grass, I believe I was carrying on this guy, and he obviously switches in his thing, which resists it. And man, if I just gone for the Fire Blast on that turn, Grottle would have been dead, and life would have been so much easier. But I really played too obvious in this game, and it's showing. It's showing heavily, not only with the Hitmonchan situation, but also with the Entei play. So I really should have pulled some more predictions out my pants, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes the man's getting you down, and you got to just stick with what you think is the right play, and a lot of the time it's not going to work out. But oh well. Bring Sophos back in, take some Leech Seed, which isn't the nicest of things, because now I have not only Poison, but Leech Seed sapping away at me. And as I said before, Sophos doesn't like residual damage. It's not what it's really built to do, so it's gonna really just chip away at me. Poliwrath's gonna be able to take me out easily, and well, nothing I can really do. I'm just going to leave him as death fodder and bring in most likely Entei or even Hitmonchan. I think I'm going to bring in Hitmonchan after this because I can outspeed it and just be able to take out with a Thunder Punch as well. So, Nightshade away the sub, just make sure he doesn't have a free one up at the time, because I wouldn't like him to do so. If he had a free substitute, that would just make life even worse than it already currently is. So, he ends up killing me, and, well, that's what happens. Don't have much else to say about the situation. Sophos had a bad game today. Really bad game, man. It kind of sucks. Kind of sucks a lot. And he focus punches on the turn I whirlwind, so well, that was a nice prediction on his end, I guess, because well, it works out. And he is now at over half health. So I'm like, shit, let's just kill this guy, alright? Let's get him out of the way, go to Hitmonchan, and kill him. Problem is, I overpredict, and at the one point when he decides to stay in, I go for a prediction. Meaning I lose Hitmonchan, almost. Not quite, but almost. I went for the Ice Punch predicting Claydol, and it didn't come in because he stayed in. But now at this point, I can actually take him out with a Drain Punch is what I do, and it kind of works out in the end because I lived the Waterfall, was able to take him out with a Drain Punch, got more health back than I had originally, and we're still at the kind of situation where I can still go for an Ice Punch on Claydol, take the guy out, and things are looking okay. I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. As long as Entei can hit 3 Fire Blasts in a row and not miss, I can do this. I can do this because I can kill his Yanmega. I'm scarfed. Even if he protects, I should outspeed him after +1. And then I can kill his Growl with a Fire Blast. So I managed to just hit Hitmonchan, pulling through there, takes out the guy, and now I'm just ready for death and destruction. Goes into Scolipede. Got to Fire Blast that thing, get out of the way. And then he has Yanmega, got to Fire Blast that thing, get out of the way. And then he has Groddle, got to Fire Blast that thing, get out of the way. Things are looking good. Things are looking great. Yeah. Until, yeah. And, yeah. Yeah. And, yep. So missing Fire Blast is a thing, and I lose because of it. So, that's what happened, and well, fuck my life. Hacks. Oh well, it's what happens. It's the game. You gotta play it, you gotta live life and do whatever you do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a very long one, and fucking so much lag going on here. I don't know why, but anyway, you can leave a like if you enjoyed. That'd be nice. If you didn't, well, fuck. I don't know. Leave a comment. And other stuff, and whatever the hell you want to do, don't listen to me. I'm not a demanding person who tells you what to do. Just do what you want. And yes, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.